Hey fellas, welcome back to another Pokemon Master video, and tonight we're going to have the new Singsu, Wally, and Shiny Mega Gardevoir, right, drop. And as usual, we will be pulling for that live tonight when it drops, and hopefully it's going to be fun. Alright, so, because I definitely need a bit of luck now. I mean, you always need luck, but maybe a bit more this time. Anyways, so let's talk a bit about this unit, and before we really get into anything, I will have to tell you, if you think I have all the answers to this unit at the moment, then unfortunately you would be mistaken. I do not have all the info on this unit at the moment. There's a lot of new things this unit does that are completely just like new to the game. And we will not really be able to know how like it works, all the details, until the unit actually drops in the game. So do take all that stuff with a grain of salt, right? Trying to be a bit responsible here and tell you guys, don't don't just take my word for like anything at this point. Actually, that's not the point I was trying to make, but anyways, just that, keep in mind, not just me, but like, if other people try to tell you something about this unit, again, a lot of things are not confirmed yet. They're probably lying or making stuff up. So anyways, let's talk about the unit then. So Singsu, Wally, and Gardevoir, this is our Fairy Zone setter. This is our Fairy Zone setter. It's here to help boost up all the other Fairy units in the game, and it does a pretty good job at it, because of a few things. First of all, well, you have the Fairy Zone. Yeah, obviously. But you also do have a lot of other great things that really help a lot of Fairy type units. For example, your, like Wally's buddy move over here, right? Dazzling Gleam. Which, first of all, the activation condition is slightly weird. It's when an ally Mega Evolves. This is the first thing that we're not 100% sure of, right? Because it does says when an ally Mega Evolves. I'm not 100% sure if that means like Wally itself too, or does it have to be strictly an ally outside of Wally, right? Because usually when it says an ally, it generally entails that it could be the user itself too, right? For example, like, I don't know, like Don Bear over here, like, or someone with like potion. It just says there's an ally special thing, and obviously you could use it for yourself. So not 100% sure if this is like strictly an ally or like ally outside of Gardevoir, or Shiny Gardevoir use it himself as well, right? So we'll have to see. All right, but I'm assuming you could use it when this Gardevoir Megas too. So anyways, can be deactivated, lowers the target's attack and special attack by 4, and then lowers the target's fairy type rebuff by 1. As 1 obviously MP over there. So this is the big thing, right? Attack and special attack -4 is very, very, very good for a lot of fairy type units, because a lot of them do have multipliers based on that, right? I mean, if you look at the other Gardevoir, obviously down the Gardevoir, you got Devastation, which is based on how much the opponent's special attack is lowered, and obviously she does a rather terrible job at doing it herself, right? So some help for this is very, very, very nice. Again, you also have units like was it Marnie, right? Marnie with wasn't her passive? Oh, no, it's over here. Overpower and Devastation, again, also based on those multipliers, debuffing the opponent's special attack and all that stuff. And I think she has some too, right? Overpower, right here for Serena as well, and like there's other units that also again have multipliers based on that as well. So yeah, like for all the prominent fairy type damage dealers, he helps a lot with that, right? So that's a very, very, very well fitted buddy move for fairy units in the game. So that's very, very nice. And also you have the fairy type rebuff decrease, right? So again, for those, this is my third time or fourth time explaining this, I don't know, but it's all right. It's a new thing, right? But rebuffs are basically, it's like a resistance to a certain type, right? You can increase rebuff, which makes a unit more resistant to a certain type, or you could decrease it, right? It's positive, negative. Positive, you're more resistant to a type. Negative, you're more weak to a certain type, right? So that's pretty standard. So over here, it makes it that the opponent is weak to fairy types. So not only are you giving fairy types Fairy Zone, you're also giving fairy types more damage on the opponent when they're using fairy moves, right? So this is a very, very, very great support for, well, not a support, it's tech, but, you know, but, like, support-wise, in the pure sense of support, right? For fairy-type units over here. Obviously, very, very, very good over there. As for the training move, it's special attack +4, special defense and crit +1, 2 uses. Obviously, not enough to max it out, but, you know, it's pretty much there, I guess. So, yeah, as for your damage dealing move, it is only really Disarming Voice, which is kind of an L, right? It's not gonna, like, do terrible damage because, you know, once you do Mega, you have, like, 590 special attack, and obviously, you know, if you have them 6-star EX, that's 600, you know, something special attack, which is a lot of special attack. That is a lot of special attack, so it's not going to be terrible, I don't think. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be fantastic, but it shouldn't be, like, absolutely atrocious there either. So, yeah, as for the nuke, it is based on Fairy Zone, so that's really, really nice, right? As for your lucky skills, you got to, oh, not lucky skills, as for passives, you got to few really, really good ones. First of all, you come in with Head Start 1. That's already really, really nice. And then Team Speedy entry, Team Speed buff as well, right? There are, like, a few, like, the big Fairy Zone units are relatively gauge costly. She's a 4-gauge user. She's a 4-gauge user as well, right? So that definitely helps. Gobsmack for the confusion extra is alright. I mean, there's some extra stuff that you could activate with that, but we'll get to that when we get to the grid. And then after you Mega, you Head Start 2, so it's basically like she has Adrenaline 2 built in, and Head Start 1 at the beginning. So that's really, really massive sync move countdown, right, stuff, right? So that's really, 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 really good. And then you have Team Speedy entry again, so that's +4 team speed for your entire team, which is very, like, that's just fantastic stuff, right? So, yeah, going into this grid, if you are planning to pull, all right, how many copies do you want to pull? So, let's... at base, she does basically what she does, right? I don't think you have to really go for, like, a second copy or third copy, which is kind of hilarious, because, like, the big thing everyone's talking about is, oh my god, you have to pull for her 5 out of 5 and 4 out of 5 now. Not really. You don't even have to pull for her 2 out of 5, because, or him, sorry, but, yeah, you don't even have to pull for 2 out of 5, because, 1 out of 5 is really enough. 1 out of 5 is good enough, right? No, don't even have to talk about 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, when we don't even need to talk about 2 out of 5, right? So, yeah, you basically get everything you really need in this unit at 1 out of 5 at the moment, right? Because, again, you got your Fairy Zone, you got your Buddy Move here, right? You got your Team Speed buffs, you got your Sync Move Countdown stuff. Yeah, on the grid, it's just a lot of more, like, personal damage stuff, which is nice. That's definitely nice, not, like, a bad thing, but... Yeah, at 105, you don't have too much. You got Move Gauge Refresh on Fairy Wish, which is not super relevant. MP Refresh on Training Move, which is nice to pick up. I mean, if you are at 1 out of 5. But then moving on to 2 out of 5, right? That is when you do start getting some damage stuff for your Disarming Voice, like Foul Fighting 5 over here, right? You have Ramp Up on your Training Move is pretty nice. Team Speedy Entry is nice if you want, like, +6 for your entire team, right? Quick Tempo's alright, Whimsical Acceleration's alright, Whimsical Stability is situational, I guess. Gobsmack is not really useful, I feel. So, yeah, obviously it's not like, the grids are completely, you know, worthless. No. They're still nice. You do get stuff out of them, but, like, for the unit to function to its most basic function, 1 out of 5 is definitely enough, right? As for 3 out of 5, you got stuff like, Mind Bogger 9, which is definitely really, really nice, right? Some extra special defense drops. Interference Sync, that's just some extra sync stuff, right? A few more DPS stuff. Sharp Entry. Yeah, Sharp Entry plus Ramp Up, I guess, makes it so you don't need the MP Refresh. What else? Status Immunity, whatever. Devastation's a nice Sync Nuke multiplier, right? Discourage is alright, I guess. And then you have Fairy Wish MP Refresh. Here's the big thing, because a lot of people do, and maybe I overreacted initially, right? Because a lot of people are talking about, oh no, the zone extension is at, I think, 5 out of 5, right? That's terrible, because zone extension is so, you know, great and useful and stuff. Well, yeah, it's nice, but when you also think about it, is it like that big of a deal in comparison to, like, MP Refresh on Fairy Wish, right? Not really. Do I think Zone Extension is better? Yeah, I think Zone Extension is better, but it's not like you don't have a replacement for that in, you know, 3 out of 5 with Fairy Wish MP refresh, right? So there is that. But yeah, as for 4 out of 5, discombobulate 9. I don't care. This sucks. I mean, I wouldn't say complete, but it's not really useful. Headstar 1 is nice though. That's nice. And then 5 out of 5, you have, this is the one that I feel is really, you know, cool, which is a 100% chance of increasing special move up next of all of the allies when you use Fairy Wish, right? Again, this is definitely not a must-have for the unit. It's just like a above and beyond sort of node that you get. This is like overkill of overkills, right? It's just like, you know, insane levels of overkill if you want to go for this. Also, it's completely worthless if you're, you know, running your, I wouldn't say completely, but basically worthless if your main damage dealer is like Marnie, because she's Phil's Cold, but otherwise, it's alright. Again, this is pretty good too, but you could totally live without all this stuff. So do not go for 5 out of 5, unless you're, you know, a psycho, or if you're rich, or both, I guess. But no, don't pull for 5 out of 5, man. Come on, what are you doing? Just 1 out of 5 is good enough for this unit, really, even if you're trying to go for him. So yeah, it's a good unit. It's not like an offensive powerhouse or whatever, but it's not like completely worthless in terms of damage either if you do invest into it a bit, right? Won't be doing too much damage if you don't invest into it, obviously, because again, do get some damage later on. But yeah, it doesn't really need to do damage, right? Because again, it just helps your team do so much damage itself by the nature of having Fairy type rebuff, having Fairy Zone, right? Helping all your Fairy type damage dealers with their multipliers and such, right? So you could treat it more as like a Annie Skyla-ish sort of zone unit rather than like a Lucas zone unit, right? Where it's more focused on, you know, buffing the team or whatever. Unless you have her at like, you know, 3 out of 5, which in that case you could do a bit more damage with her personally, but again, it's not like anything like crazy in terms of damage wise. But yeah, as for the unit itself, I'd say give it a solid 8 out of 10, I guess, right? For again, Fairy Zone is just really good. Fairy Zone is just really nice. Zone in general is very nice. Again, we don't exactly know what the multipliers are for rebuff, so again, it might be, you know, just 10%, which in that case is kind of whatever. Or it could be like 30%, which is like a huge deal, right? So we'll have to see in terms of the rebuff. So there's nothing definitive. Maybe, you know, watch the showcase first, but before, you know, going into all that stuff, I guess, right? Do any rash decisions beforehand in terms of that. But yeah, it's overall still a zone unit. I feel like zone units are always going to be worth summoning, even if it's like the worst zone unit. It's still a freaking zone unit, right? It makes an entire type not only completely, you know, viable, but sometimes above and beyond, right? In that case, and I'd say Wally definitely would make it go above and beyond, like especially that double Gardevoir team comp is gonna go crazy, right? Just, you know, how well they fit together and all that stuff should be really nice. It's a good unit, but again, do also keep in mind, as great as this Wally is, I do not think it is a unit that is worth summoning over any of the anniversary units, right? And again, there's also the other Master Fairs up at the moment. I definitely do think the Wally, you know, is definitely at least on par with some of those other units that are up. But no. If you still haven't gotten the anniversary units, unless obviously you're a big Wally fan, you love Wally, you want to pull for Shiny Meg, Gardevoir, all that stuff, that makes sense. I mean, who doesn't love Wally, right? Like, what kind of monster would hate Wally? Oh my goodness. Anyways, but yeah, that aside, I would say the anniversary units would still be a bit of a priority over him. As good of a unit as I feel like he is. So yeah, but if you do have them, all that stuff, he could definitely be a really nice option, right? Again, zone units are always going to be something nice to pull for. But on the other hand, it is also a Pokefair, so Pokefairs again generally get reruns much more frequent than Master Fairs, and even, you know, seasonals to an extent. So anyways, that's me on the stone. I guess hope you know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the videos for some more Pokemon content, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.